Hi everyone, I'm Niamh Holcroft and I'd like to welcome you to this tutorial video for Block 3 of the Scheepjes Spring Forward Make-Along, designed by Irene of Handmade Past. The written pattern for this block, the Leaves block, is available on Irene's website. An ad-free PDF version of the whole pattern is also available from Irene's Ravelry and Etsy stores. Links are in the description below. In this tutorial, we'll be making the leaf stitch pattern. You won't need a cable needle for this stitch pattern. It's worked using basic increases and decreases. In this tutorial, I'll be using Scheepjes Chunky Monkey yarn in the colour Stone. I'll cast on a few stitches to make a small swatch of the actual pattern so you can see how the technique works. You may notice a slight difference on the edge of the leaf in the photos of Irene's blanket and those of her testers. This is due to the fact that Irene knits using the combination style technique, which Irene herself will explain more about. So if your knitting style is the more widely used English or continental, then your leaf will look like the leaf in this tutorial. Here I have my swatch. I've cast on enough stitches for the edge stitches and to make one leaf. I've worked to the end of row 3 of the pattern, which is basic knit and purl stitches as instructed. I now have the right side of my work facing me, ready to begin row 4, which is the first row of the leaf. So I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm now in the correct position for our first increase. We are going to make one, and for that we're going to be using this bar here between these 2 stitches. See again. Yarn to the back of the work. With your left needle, insert from front to back under the bar and pick up the bar. You now see the loop on your left needle. You have the front leg here and the back leg just behind here. Normally when you make a knit stitch, you go into the front leg of the stitch, but we are going to be going into the back leg. Insert your needle into the back leg of the stitch and knit it. Knit the next stitch. We're now in the position to do another make one increase. Again, you can see the little horizontal bar here between these 2 stitches. With your left needle, insert under the bar from front to back. Insert your right needle into the back loop. And knit the stitch. I'm now in the position to purl my last 8 edge stitches. and you can see, if you look at the columns of your stitches, you can see the 2 stitches you've just made either side of this knit stitch. Here we are at the end of row 5. Basically, I have knit and purled my way across as the pattern instructs. I'm now at the beginning of row 6, which is the next row of the leaf. Again, we're going to be making another stitch either side of this knit column here. So I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches. I'm going to knit the next stitch, and we're now in the correct position to make one. Again, we're going to be using this little horizontal bar in here. Insert your left needle underneath the bar from front to back. Insert your right needle into the back leg of the stitch and knit it. Knit the next stitch, and now we're in the position to make one. See the little horizontal bar here? With your left needle, insert the needle under the bar from front to back. Insert your right needle into the back leg of that stitch and knit it. I'm going to knit my next stitch, and I'm now ready to purl my last 8 edge stitches. Now you can see the leaf shape beginning to form. I'm now at the beginning of row 8. This is the last row where we'll be making these 2 extra stitches in the leaf pattern. So I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches. I'm going to knit the next stitch, now in the position to do my make one using the little horizontal bar here. Insert the left needle from front to back under the bar, your right needle into the back leg of the bar and knit the stitch. Knit the next 3 stitches. And we're now in the position to do our last meg one using this horizontal bar here between the stitches. Left needle from front to back under the bar, right needle into the back leg and knit the stitch. Knit the next stitch, and I'm now in the position to purl my last 8 edge stitches. Now you can really see the bottom of that leaf formed. Here we are at the beginning of row 10. We're now going to be making decreases to shape the rest of our leaf. I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches, I'm now in the position to make my first decrease. For this we're going to knit 2 together. So we're going to be knitting the next 2 stitches together using the front legs. Yarn to the back of the work. Insert your right needle through the front leg of the second stitch and then also through the front leg of the first stitch. Knit them both together, so pull that loop through both sets of legs and slip both stitches off the left hand needle. Knit the next 3 stitches as normal. We're now going to make another decrease. In the same way, knit 2 together. Insert your right needle through the front leg of the second stitch and also through the front leg of the first stitch. And knit both together, pulling the loop through both legs at the same time. Slip both stitches off the needle. I'm now in the position to purl my last 8 edge stitches. Here we are at the beginning of row 12. On this row we're going to make a decrease, again and knit 2 together, but just along this first edge of the leaf. I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches again. I'm now in the position to knit 2 together over the next 2 stitches on the left hand needle. Insert your right needle through the front leg of the second stitch and also through the front leg of the first stitch, and knit both of them together, pulling the loop through both legs. Slip the 2 stitches off the needle. Knit the next 3 stitches. I'm now in the position to purl my last 8 edge stitches. Here we are at the beginning of row 14. Again, we're going to be making 1 decrease along this top right edge of the leaf. I'm going to purl my usual first 8 edge stitches. I'm now in the position to make my next knit 2 together decrease. Insert the right needle through the front leg of the second stitch and also through the front leg of the first stitch, and knit them both together, pulling the loop through both legs of the stitches. Slip both stitches off. Knit the next 2 stitches, I'm going to purl my last 8 edge stitches. Here we are at the beginning of row 16. Again, we're going to be making 1 decrease on this top right edge of the leaf. Purl my first 8 edge stitches. I'm now in the position to knit 2 together over these first 2 stitches on the left hand needle. Insert your right needle through the second stitch, front leg of the second stitch and the front leg of the first stitch, and knit the 2 together, pulling the loop through both stitches, and slip them both off. And knit the next stitch. I'll purl my last 8 edge stitches. Here we are at the beginning of row 18. which is the last row of this leaf. And on this row we'll be making one more decrease in these 2 knit stitches here. Now we're going to knit 2 together over these 2 next stitches on the left needle. Insert the right needle through the front leg of the second stitch and then through the front leg of the first stitch, and knit the 2 together, pulling the loop through both legs and slip both stitches off. Now I'm going to purl my last 8 edge stitches. And there you have your leaf. You may recall at the beginning of this tutorial I talked briefly about the difference in the appearance of the leaf between Irene's original sample blanket and the blankets of her testers. If you look at these 2 swatches, you can clearly see the difference. This one here is Irene's, and this one is her testers. If you knit English or continental style and you'd like the edge of your leaf to look like Irene's, then you'll need to replace one of the knit 2 together stitches in the pattern with either a slip knit or a knit 2 together through the back loop. These particular stitches are indicated in red text in the pattern instructions. So on the next couple of right side rows on my new swatch, I'll show you an example of each stitch, and it's up to you which one you choose to use. So here I am with my new swatch, ready to begin row 10, which is the first row where the knit 2 togethers are used. I'm going to purl my first 8 edge stitches. And now I'm in the position to make my decrease. So here we're going to do a slip knit decrease. Put the yarn in the back of the work, slip the next stitch knitwise and the next stitch knitwise. Take your left needle and slip it under the front leg of each of the stitches. You can see it's through both of those together. I'll do that again for you. Like that. And you can see your working needle is through both back legs. And now we're just going to knit those together like so. Knit 3. Now these 2 knit 2 together, this is normal. So knit the 2 stitches together through the front legs just like normal. And now we're in the position Well, I am, for my edge stitches. Now you can see that stitch there is now leaning to the left. Here we are at the beginning of row 12, and on this row, the decrease that we make here, I'll show you the knit two together through the back loop. Just purl my first 8 edge stitches. And now here we are in the position to make the decrease. Just put the yarn in back, and we're going to be knitting through these 2 back loops here. That's through the first back loop, that's through the second back loop, like so, and then knit the 2 loops together. It's very similar to the slip knit, except you don't twist your stitches before making the decrease. Knit 3, and now I'm in the position to make my 8 edge stitches. So here we are at the end of row 13. The first 2 stitches here decreased. These were the slip knit, and these 2 here knit 2 together through the back loop. You can see the first 2 with the slip knit are slightly smoother, but you might want a look like you'd get on a real leaf, like, because they're sometimes not smooth. So it's up to you which one you choose to use. Thank you for joining in with this make along. You can find more support from Irene, the mod team, and the members in the Scheepjes Facebook groups, where we hope you'll share photos of your work with the hashtag #FowardMAL.